What is up, guys? Ninja Nick back with another round of this Japan Champions League. Looks like on the right we have a Gardevoir deck, and here we have some deck that's playing Mew EX, the new one from Pokemon 151 that we saw in a previous round in the Lugia deck. And hey, it looks like this is also a Lugia deck. So we're going to be seeing yet another Lugia versus Mew matchup here. We're going to have to flip the coin first here for the Capturing Aroma, so that will be a basic Pokemon. So Nest Ball for a Lugia, Capturing Aroma also for a Lugia. Really like the art on the full art Lugia Vs. They look pretty nice. He's got them big hands, which are also wings. Gonna attach a gift energy as well, and then just a pass. Doesn't know what his opponent is playing necessarily. Both of these players 4-1 right now, so safe to just get the second Lugia V to the bench. If you knew at this point that your opponent was on Gardevoir, maybe you would have chosen a different bench basic Pokemon than the second Lugia. Looks like we might be prize checking a little bit, pulling some cards up top out of the deck a little bit, probably identifying which Pokemon are prized, which energy are prized, are usually what I go for in the Gardevoir deck. I always want to make sure I know exactly how many Psychic Energies I have access to in case I want to use my Sky Seal Stone play with Zacian V. And then of course we want to know how many Ralts and Kirlia for the most part are in the deck, and if we have to play a 0 Gardevoir EX game, which I did have to do one round in Pittsburgh, but I did win that game. I was against a Lost Box that bricked, and it was the only game I started Zacian V that tournament. So I just attached Roar the Sword, and then the next turn I attached Knockout, Knockout, and then my opponent scooped. So we're going to battle VIP Pass, get out Ralts and the Baby Mew. Baby Mew does allow you to look at the top 6 cards of your deck, choose one item card from amongst them to put into your hand, and then you just shuffle the others back into the deck. So Fog Crystal here as well. Search for a basic Psychic Energy or basic Psychic Pokemon in order to put into your hand. So it looks like we might go for the Psychic Energy. We can then use that for the concealed cards in order to draw another 2 cards. Hopefully finding maybe another Battle VIP Pass, we could get 2 more Ralts into play. You can always Mirage Step if you only get 1 or 2 Ralts in play turn 1 with the Kirlia with Mirage Step to get 3 Kirlia straight out of your deck, but it always feels better to just load the bench up with Ralts. Looks like we just did that for a retreat. We got that Psychic Energy so we could retreat into the Mew, used Research to discard another Psychic Energy, and then did we use concealed cards already? We must have. Although I guess it is smarter to use it after the Research, because if you draw into something like a Gardevoir EX, you don't want to be necessarily discarding that with the Research. And we're going to use the new Battle VIP Pass we found for just one Pokemon, the Ralts. So now we have all 4 Ralts in play. Turn 1 is a pretty great start to the match here. That's exactly what you want to see in any matchup, really, is just the full Ralts brigade. Yep, here's the concealed cards now. We did have another Psychic Energy we drew into, and we still have not used our Mysterious Tail, so now we can look at the top 6. And I think we did find a rare candy, so all we're missing is a Gardevoir if we do not have that in hand already. And we could probably see a rare candy Gardevoir play next turn, but it looks like there was a whiff of an item card there. I saw Boss's Orders, maybe a couple other supporters, an energy card. Nothing that you can really get off of the Mew. I think every time you find an item with Mew, you take it even if it's not something that you're looking for, just so that your next draw is that much more live. Because if you were to say, not take a Super Rod when you have no Pokemon and energies in the discard pile that you want to put back, take it anyway, and then your next draw isn't Super Rod, or at least has a lot less likelihood of being Super Rod if you're playing multiple copies, as Gardevoir should be. They should be playing 2. So we are going to INO here from this Lugia player. Both players are going to shuffle their hands, put them on the bottom of the deck, draw a fresh amount of cards equal to their prize cards, which at this point is 6 for both players. So we are going to flip a coin. It's tails, but the judges are saying to flip it again. I think that was a valid... Maybe it didn't rotate 3 times in the air. That's usually what it is. The coin does have to flip 3 times in the air at minimum in order to be considered a legal flip. So it didn't land in any weird spots, but definitely had to be reflipped. And now we're going to go for the nest ball to grab a Snorlax. Looks like Lugia is the mostly colorless variant in this tournament. I have not been seeing any... I have not seen a single strike version yet so far in this tournament. And it looks like we're actually going to go for Read the Wind. A little bit surprising to see, but it is fine, I suppose, at this point. Load up your discard pile with those Archeops so that you can get 2 of them out instead of just 1. This Gardevoir deck hopefully does not have the Rare Candy Gardevoir EX in order to maybe take a big turn of hitting damage down. I'm going to play the Collapse Stadium. Getting rid of your own Greninja is a little bit of an odd choice in my opinion. I think that I would have liked to see the Greninja stay a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not sure why you would get rid of your own Greninja there, because that just helps you get even more Psychic Energy into the discard pile, and it is a way to draw more cards, so you could use that over multiple turns. I guess we were going to research anyway, so I guess maybe trying to open up another bench spot for something better, but also got rid of the Cresselia. I'm not sure what else you would want to put on your bench. I think I would rather just discard the Collapse Stadium, but... maybe he's valuing the Collapse Stadium in play for the Lugia, because now if Lugia is able to use Summoning Star and can't replace the Stadium first with like a Mesagosa, we would actually see only 1 Archeops come out. So that makes sense. That's exactly why they discarded their own Greninja. They would have loved to see their Greninja stay in play, but the detriment to yourself is not anywhere near the detriment to your opponent only getting potentially 1 summoning, only 1 Archeops off the Summoning Star. So it looks like we might have 5 energies in the discard pile right now. Gonna attach return to the Curlia and just pass. We missed Gardevoirs. It's just kind of like my whole day. There was 1 round in Pittsburgh where I missed Gardevoir EX both games. You can see the vlog for the full detail of how my whole day went. It was not fun. I'll tell you that much. No, the tournament was fun, but the way my games went was not fun. I kept bricking all day with what's supposed to be the most consistent deck, which is exactly why I played it. I just wanted something consistent. Did not quite get there. I knew Lugia was the correct play for the tournament with 2 Stonejourner, and I just didn't do it. I mean, I was debating the idea of double Stonejourner, but I wasn't fully convinced on it yet. And I hadn't played any games with Lugia leading up to the tournament, so I chickened out of trying to play it. So here we go. We do get the Mesagosa, so we are able to replace that Stadium. Get the Summoning Star for 2 Archeops off, and now we can use the first one here to get maybe just a double turbo to the active. Looks like that's exactly what we're doing. Now we're going to use our second one. That should start loading up. Maybe the Lugia V-Star on the bench would be a nice thing to see. Get powered up. Yeah, it looks like we go just a gift energy is a little bit surprising. But now we have a gift energy on both of our Lugias. So if either of those get bossed up in one shot by something like a Zacian maybe in a future turn, we will not have to worry about that. So Snorlax does put itself to sleep. We will have to flip 2 coins to see if we wake up. There is 1 heads. We have to flip 1 more heads in order to wake up. That is off the table, but it looks like it must have been a tails because we do stay asleep here. We're going to flip for the Mesagosa, flipping heads here, so the Gardevoir deck is now able to find a Gardevoir of their own. I don't remember them using the Mesagosa on the last turn, but I could have just missed the coin flip. players are playing very fast, which you love to see in this format currently, because so many games do just go to time, even if they are best of one. Even playing like this myself, I still went to like start game 3 with 4 minutes left on the clock, multiple rounds. Alright, now he's going a little bit slow. He was going fast, now he's going slow. So gonna refinement away a psychic energy, makes sense. We're gonna go for the Shining Arcana, gonna draw another 2. Maybe we'll find a psychic energy off of that. Looks like we don't. And here's a Gardevoir EX as well, so we will be able to retreat our active. Finds an Artisan to be able to bump the Mesagosa so our opponent does not get any more use out of it. And now Super Rod will put back in some Gardevoir pieces. Looks like 2 different types of Gardevoir as well as a Mew, the basic Mew. I'm not sure what the Mew really does for you at this point in the game, so I'm not sure if I'd really want that back in my deck. I think maybe I would have put the Cresselia back instead. Would have been a little bit better. Actually, no, the Mew is better if you want just a pivot Pokemon. Gonna Ultra Ball, thin some cards out of the hand, just in case we get Iono'd ourselves here. Because we know we're taking at least 1 prize card this turn. You could attack with the Gardevoir EX, and I don't think you really feel threatened on this next turn of being knocked out. There's also that Stadium they're highlighting here. I do believe that you heal damage with it. No, I guess it's not called Moonlight Stadium. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe it's like Moonlight Field? Well, either way, this Gardevoir is loading up a bunch of energies into play. Oh, is it in 151? Yeah, I can't figure it out what it does. I'm pretty sure that it heals damage off of your Pokemon. Because I remember they printed it, and then I'm like, what's the point of Champions Festival anymore in the deck? So, yep, just takes the knockout on the Snorlax, or no, on the Mew with a boss's orders. I like that, actually. Getting to take a 2 prize knockout with just the Gardevoir EX is pretty powerful. Even loads up the 1 Shining Arcana on the bench so that there is a possible Brainwave on the next turn, even if you can't find another Gardevoir EX. We do have a Mirage Step Curlia that could always evolve on this next turn. But of course we will have to find the Gardevoir EX if it does go down for whatever reason. Maybe if like a Weird Ear comes out. There are quite a few energy cards in play. There's like 8 energies. I mean, there's not that many. 2, 4. There's 6. 7 energy cards, which is 9 energies. Times however many Weird Air does. Minus 40 for the 2 double turbos. So yeah, we're just going to Tempest Dive into the Gardevoir EX. It will live, so we can just retreat it into the Shining Arcana Gardevoir. And we're going to level ball ourselves for a Refinement Curly. A little unfortunate that we have the Mirage Step one in play right now, because we would love to be able to just draw extra cards with that instead. So we are going to retreat into Miss Brainwave. And do we have the ability to take the Nakehara? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 210. So that's 270. And then we Fog Crystal for the last energy that's in our deck. Attach for turn, because we already have 120 damage on it. You do have to attach that energy for turn, though. You haven't done it yet. And myself, when I do stuff like this, and I put the card I need in hand, and then I don't immediately play it, like, I lost... I lost my winning into points at the DC Open in 2019, because I was taking a 6 prize turn with my Reshizard. Because there was the Shrine of Punishment in play, doing the last 10 I needed to the Raichu tag team on the bench. And then I was knocking out the active Pikarom with the GX attack of Reshizard, with having the bonus energies on it. I searched for the extra energy, and then I never put it down on my Charizard, and I declared the attack. And then I think my opponent was actually going to, like, let me go back on it, but I wouldn't let myself go back on it. Because he didn't notice it, and he was cleaning up his Pokemon. And then after that, like after he put his Pokemon in the discard pile, I said I hadn't taken my prizes yet. And then that's when I realized that I still had the energy in hand. I looked down at my Reshizard, and it was 1 energy short. I think I had like 5 energy instead of 6 that I needed. And I said, oh, I messed up. Like, it's not a knockout. I can just do the damage. And he's like, oh yeah, you're taking a 6 prize turn. I'm like, no, I messed up. So yeah, always try not to put yourself into that position. Always like do a quick double check on all your stuff to make sure that you sequenced everything correctly and actually played all of your cards that you wanted to play before you ever announce an attack, because you can never go back once you announce an attack. Looks like we're going to go for the Snorlax attack into the Gardevoir here. We'll knock that out, taking a prize card here. Going down to 4 remaining, but this Gardevoir deck only has 2 prize cards remaining. If we just see a boss's orders, we might just be able to see the game, but we might need a... I guess the reversal energy won't work, so I think this turn you still feel pretty safe. Now, what do you do? So the problem here is that the Lugia has too much HP. So do you just boss it up and hit it with the Gardevoir EX? Do you even have the HP remaining left to do that? 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, you would have to attach 1 for turn. Yeah, so you have the reversal energy. So you can actually retreat into the Gardevoir, use its ability to put 2 more damage counters on it, boss up the Lugia, hit into it with the... Oh, here we go. We have the Zacian. Okay. So we're going to go for the Ino, putting ourselves to 2 cards in hand. There must be something in the deck that we're looking for. Oh, it must be... Maybe it is the boss's orders we're still looking for. But the problem here is if we just, like, attack with the Zacian, we still just don't have it. We're going to take the Battle VIP Pass off of the Mysterious Tail just because we can't take the knockout with that. But the problem here is that if the Lugia deck just has its own boss's orders, they can boss up the Zacian V and hit it for 200, it won't be knockout, but it will make it so that you can't use Psychic Embrace on it anymore. So you can just choose to load it up here. But what does that do for you? I think here you just have to attack with the Gardevoir. Yeah, so that's what he's doing. So he's attacking with the single prize Gardevoir and just hoping his opponent doesn't have the boss's orders for the Zacian to basically win the game. Although, I think this is still not that bad of a play. So if you did boss Zacian, they can still take a couple turns to... Or no. Yeah, because your opponent still has 4 prizes left. So they could just hit into the Zacian twice, knock it out, and then hit into the... I guess the game plan would be to knock out the Zacian and the Gardevoir EX. You could boss knock out the Gardevoir EX. That would make it so that the... so that the Zacian is no longer online. They could come up with the Gardevoir that has all the energies on it, and then not be able to take the one-shot. You knock that out, and then all of the energies from your opponent are no longer in play anymore, and you just hope that they don't have... Oh, and nope, the opponent just has the boss's orders to be able to bring up the Archeops to be able to take the game. So that was a very close game. That came really down to the wire towards the end. That was really anybody's game there at the end. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Really important for that YouTube algorithm and all that stuff. And we will see you guys next time.